Hi guys, welcome back to Dad Gizmo. Today we're going to show you how to make your own cabinet doors. So shaker style doors, that's what we're going to make today. We did built-ins, we're doing the doors for the cabinets. And so I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned when doing these shaker style cabinet doors. First of all, use the standard table saw. Use a standard table saw. The blade itself is 1/8 inch thick. Our wood is 3/4 inch thick. So basically what we needed to do was we needed to do this kind of double cut here for making sure that we basically took, it's got a 1/4 on each side and then a 1/4 cut out of the middle. Because we're going to take a piece of wood that we're going to later show you and as kind of the inner part of the door that we're going to have that's about a 1/4 inch thick. So to start with, what we did is we set up the saw, and one of the tricks that we had with this is that the saw, the orange piece of the guard of the saw itself, is right on line with doing a 1/4 inch cut. So if you actually do this, you of course will have to remove your kickbacks for this, so it's a little bit of a dangerous thing to do here. Okay, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta remove your kickback, you gotta remove your guards, okay? And then you have where your kickback and your guards are placed on, you basically, there's, depending on what type of table saw you have, but you need to be able to lower that down because that's gonna get in your way if you're trying to pass through your wood through your saw. So you gotta do that. The next thing you gotta do is obviously you wanna put your plate back in. The next thing you wanna do is you don't wanna cut all the way through your wood. I don't wanna have this cut go all the way through your wood. So you don't wanna have that. So you wanna be able to lower your table saw down to the appropriate height. So you know, this is a little bit of a guess here, but you basically, I wanted to be, you know, a little bit low, so I wanted to be about a 1/2 inch cut in there. And so that's what I did, so I lowered until I got about to a 1/2 inch cut. As you can see from there, a little bit more. There we go. Got to a 1/2 inch cut. So then, one thing that we learned when we were doing this pass-through cut is there's two things that I would do to make this a successful cut. One, measure and just mark the end of this with your pencil, okay? So you basically want to cut out the 3/4 inch. You want to basically have a 1/4 inch cut right down the middle. So I would measure here and I would mark both sides so you have a 1/4 inch on each side. So you end up basically looking like this. So you'll see that there's a 1/4 inch cut out of the middle. Okay, so you're making that in thirds. So you basically are going to make 2 passes through your saw, right? Because you want to basically get it to have a 1/4 inch cut. You want to be a little bit over a 1/4 inch cut because you want it to fit snug, but you don't want to have to hammer it in there either because you know, you're going to have your middle panel. So first pass, you would go through your saw and it's going to cut this first channel out. So that's your first pass. Then you're just going to flip it and cut the other side. When you flip it and cut the other side through, that'll go through the same way. And now you have this where you have a very paper thin piece of woodlet that's left in there. And the easiest thing to do is really just to take anything, pretty much a key or anything, and you can just break that piece right out of the middle. There you go. And now you have a perfect channel cut, about a 1/2 inch deep or so, and a 1/4 inch right out of the middle. So what makes this important and why you want to do this is when you're making your doors then, if this was the middle panel of my shaker door, it allows this just to fit very snug on the top of your door. So now you have that. That's one piece that's of your door. And basically I did a couple different things with it. One is I ran through my middle and side pieces, right? So I did one cut in my side pieces. And then again, this should fit snug, so you don't have to hammer it in there, but it should fit snug. And then obviously I have my bottom piece here, so this would all be butted up against itself. And I have my bottom piece. But you see it fits nice and snug in there without being too tight. So when you have all 4 pieces put together on this, so basically for my doors, I use pine wood because I'm painting it, right? And it's very easy and forgiving to patch that wood if you put a ding in it or you need to do something else. So I use 1x3 pine wood. This is about almost $7 for a 6-foot piece. And for each of my doors, basically one piece would actually make one one door. So I'd have both sides, both bottom pieces of the door. So when you put these pieces in here, it would all fit very snug in there. And then you'd have your other piece over there, and that would be make your full shaker door. And I'll show you why I double cut some of these pieces. So that would be what your full shaker door looks like. So this door itself, this middle piece, I got in a 2x4 section. It's basically a 1/4 inch piece of sanded pine wood. So that is about $7 for this, for a 2x4 piece of this, which you can make several doors out of. And then the pine wood itself, like I said, a 6-foot piece of pine wood, it allows me to make one full door out of a $6 or $7 piece of wood. So this whole door might cost maybe 10 bucks if you're lucky, right? So that would be what the shaker door looks like. And then you're probably thinking, how did I get this to stay together? So as you can see on the bottom and top, I did a double cut. So I did that channel cut on both the top and bottom, and here's why. Basically, I bought these $1 dowels, right? And it's a square dowel, happens to be about a 1/4 inch thick, right? And I wanted to make sure that these doors were very snug, but I didn't want to glue the middle panel because sometimes your door can crack then with humidity and increase and decrease of temperatures and things like that for your winter time. So I got these 1/4 inch basic dowels, square dowels. So by double channel cutting it, it allows me to basically cut and glue this across the top. So it would fit in your channel, so I'll glue that into the channel. It'll help hold, the glue will hold from here to here and through that whole channel. There's a couple different options. You could cut the channel all the way through here and make it go all the way from side to side. But what I did is I just cut in a little bit from my initial cut, and then I would glue this in here. So let me show you what the finished product looks like for that. So this is what the finished product would look like. And as you can see from my ends here, this is my square dowel going through the middle of it that helps hold it all together. And then I basically put some wood filler in there to make it look like it's nice and smooth. And so when I paint it, there's no real dimples or things in it. It looks like one solid piece of wood. But now, because I did that, the door itself, because it's glued on those ends, is very, very tight together. So that's one full door. And like I said, this door is probably anywhere between $9 and $10 to make this door. Okay, so these are the built-ins that I made, and these are the doors that I want to put on these built-ins. There's a couple things. I priced out, I need 8 doors that are just like this. I priced them out, MDF doors, which is just that crappy kind of pressed wood. That was about $400 for all 8 doors. And I made all of mine for roughly 80 bucks. So that's the price difference you're looking at. Now, part of that was, though, that they drilled for hinges. So again, just looking and looking around, I saw online that you could basically buy. We wanted to put standard cabinet hinges in here. So you can actually buy this for $11. It just goes in your drill. And basically what it does is it drills out into your door for European soft closed hinges. So it comes with a little guide, super duper easy. And you can drill out the part of your door that you would put the hinges in, and you can buy your hinges. Now, hinges have a variety of different overlays. And what an overlay really is this. You can, depending on how far you want your cabinets to overlay, your framing is how much your overlay would be. So for me, when I measured for these doors, because I have 2 doors, I measured the full width, I added an inch, and then I divided by 2. So I would have a 1/2 inch overlay on each side. I did the same thing with top to bottom. So I added it up, and obviously I didn't divide by 2 then, right? So I measured from the opening from top to bottom, and I added an inch. So that way I have a 1/2 inch overlay on all tops and bottoms. And then once I put the hinges on and everything, you'll see this got just a little bit of an overlay. And obviously the other side would look the exact same. And the doors will come right together. So once this is all done, I'm gonna prime these, I'm gonna paint these to match the same gray. Once I do that, I'm gonna put the hinges on them, which again, I'm using the soft close European hinges. And because I have a 1/2 inch overlay, I'm getting 1/2 inch hinges. Buying those on Amazon, they're much, much cheaper than buying them at Home Depot, so you can get a bunch more. And that's it. So that's how you make shaker style cabinet doors on the cheap, you know, versus buying cheaper looking MDF cabinet doors. So that's it for this one. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our videos. We'll show you more stuff as we go along. We'll show you other things that we're building.